Have you ever found yourself surrounded by people, yet felt completely alone? That quiet sense of isolation settles in, even as the world moves on around you. Picture a late-night train ride, just another routine trip home, but then something shifts. Passengers begin to vanish, one by one, and nobody else seems to notice. Will you question reality when your senses betray you? Or could it be that the real mystery isn't the train at all, but your own mind playing tricks? Sometimes, the line between what's real and what's imagined blurs in the most familiar places. A faint hiss from the train door signals the start. The platform fades behind, and the protagonist steps aboard, holding onto the comfort of routine. Inside, the carriage is just as expected. Rows of gray seats, a handful of passengers, and the steady, muffled grind of wheels on the tracks. It's the kind of place that feels safe, simply because it's so ordinary. At first, the world inside the train is quiet, almost soothing. A couple sits a few rows ahead, their heads close together as they share a private moment. A teenage girl scrolls through her phone, the screen's glow painting her features in soft blue. The only other notable figure is a man at the back, half turned toward the window, city lights flickering past. Everything seems still. Then something subtle shifts. The couple ahead stops talking. Their last glance flickers with a hint of worry, almost as if they sense something you don't. And then, just like that, they're gone. No trace except a feeling that their absence is somehow wrong, as if the air itself has changed. The seats they occupied are empty, but the unease they leave behind lingers. The ride continues, but the familiar rhythm grows tense. The man at the back sits motionless, but his reflection moves without him, turning its head a heartbeat too late, blinking out of sync. The moment you notice, the man is gone too. Only an open paperback lies on the seat, pages fluttering gently as if disturbed by a passing breeze. The teenage girl's phone glows for a second longer, then snuffs out like a dying ember. Her seat is empty, the silence swallowing her presence. The lights above flicker, shadows stretching and shrinking in odd patterns, as if the train itself is struggling to keep the darkness at bay. The protagonist's grip tightens around the pole. The faces around them seem unfamiliar, blurred at the edges, shifting when not directly watched. Was that man in the gray coat always there? Or is memory slipping, details rearranging themselves in real time? Isolation presses in, less about being alone, more about the world itself becoming unreliable. One by one, the remaining passengers vanish. A bag hovers over emptiness. A faint perfume hangs in the air, but its owner is nowhere to be found. Each disappearance is sharper, faster, as if the train is erasing itself and everyone inside. The lights flicker again, casting harsh angles across vacant seats. Part of the protagonist screams to run, another part needs answers. Desperation wins out. They approach a thin woman clutching her wallet, her hands trembling. "Did you see that? What's happening?" The question comes out in a rush. The woman looks up, her face pale, eyes darting with fear. For a moment, it feels like real connection. Someone else who sees the cracks. But before she can reply, her image stutters, flickering like a broken recording. Her mouth opens, but only static escapes. The last station isn't what you think. Her features blur, then collapse into nothingness. Silence presses in, heavy and absolute. The wallet she held slips from her hand and lands with a quiet thud on the floor, the sound echoing in the empty car. A single distorted train horn echoes twice, cutting through the silence. The protagonist stands alone now, the carriage stretching out in both directions, empty except for the scattered remnants of those who vanished. The lights sputter, casting jagged shadows that twitch and crawl along the walls. Outside the windows offer only a smear of shapes, as if the world beyond has dissolved into something unrecognizable. The train keeps moving, but the sense of direction is lost. The familiar boundaries of place and time have slipped away, replaced by a growing uncertainty. The protagonist's reflection in the glass stares back, unchanged, but somehow unfamiliar, as if waiting for something to break. With each passing moment, the line between what's happening outside and what's happening within grows thinner. The train is still in motion, but now it feels as though it's carrying more than just a body through the night. It's pulling the mind deeper into territory where nothing can be trusted. A new strangeness fills the carriage. The protagonist gazes out the window, expecting city lights or familiar streets. But all that stretches beyond the glass are twisting trees, with no tops, their silhouettes bending in impossible directions. The sense of place slips further away, replaced by a landscape that feels both foreign and deeply familiar. Every whisper of movement cuts out for a beat, and then the intercom crackles. The voice, warped and distant, stumbles through tangled syllables. Next stop, Uzal. The words hang in the air, stretching the moment. For just a second, panic flares. Then something deeper stirs. A memory flashes, sharp and intrusive. The faint beeping of a hospital monitor. The sterile chill of linoleum underfoot. Someone calls their name, but it's not a voice they recognize. The memory splinters, refusing to settle into place. Sounds on the train start to bleed into echoes from somewhere else. A laugh over the speakers mimics someone lost to time. The past seeps through the walls, dripping quietly into the present. The protagonist shifts in their seat, searching for any solid ground. Their own reflection in the window won't meet their eyes. It moves just a fraction behind, as if it knows something they don't. I grip the seat. Was this my mind betraying me, or something worse? Reaching for control, the protagonist pulls out their phone, hoping for an anchor. The screen lights up, but it's wrong. Only one photo stands out. A station swallowed in shadow, tracks vanishing into darkness. No name, no people, just an image that feels more like a warning than a memory. The sense of unreality grows heavier. The thought creeps in, maybe the train isn't the problem. Maybe it's them. Details begin to arrange themselves in the corners of their mind. The rhythm of the train matches the ticking of a clock from sleepless childhood nights. The flickering lights above recall a long-forgotten room, a place tied to worry and waiting. A memory, locked away for years, edges closer, its presence undeniable. Trust starts to erode. Is the world outside truly shifting? Or is it the mind turning against itself? The protagonist looks at the half-finished crossword left behind on a seat. The answer eludes them, just as it always has. The object feels like a message, a reminder of something unsolved, both in the puzzle and in themselves. Shapes gather at the edge of vision, shadows that flicker and dissolve into the train's gloom. One outline bends forward, small and hunched, like a child begging for help. Each figure is almost recognizable, as if drawn from memories just out of reach. The fear deepens. Are these ghosts real, or are they fragments of the self, surfacing in this liminal space? The train lurches, plunging into a tunnel. In the pitch black, a distorted laugh crackles as my reflection grins wider than my own lips. The walls seem to press closer, the air thick with questions that have no answers. What memories are real? What has been invented to fill the gaps? The sensation of moving forward remains, but the destination is lost. The protagonist sits surrounded by echoes, of voices, of memories, of selves they can't quite name. The train slows, but not to stop. The world outside offers no comfort, only a vast, yawning absence where tracks simply vanish. The rails ahead dissolve into nothingness, like chalk lines washed away by rain. In that moment, It isn't just fear of the unknown that grips the protagonist. It's a recognition that the emptiness outside mirrors something within. This journey was never about reaching a place. It's always been about facing the silence that waits inside. If home was never the destination, what have I been fleeing? Where does reality end? Maybe where fear begins. Tell us, what would you do if your reflection stopped moving? If you enjoyed this psychological twist, don't forget to like and subscribe. A single train bell tolls in the darkness, echoing long after the screen fades to black.